Give me a hell yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. This new OBS looks smooth as F. Okay, it's Tuesday, and it's my birthday, and you know what that means. It's now time for our bold review. Dito sa Fridays with Viva Max, only on Harriet. And today we are reviewing Init. Hindi, not to be confused with Tag Init. This is the latest Tuesday Viva Max movie release, clocking in at 50 minutes, including future trailers na feature like Daddy Seater and ano yung isang na-feature? Daddy Seater, saka package deal. So ayun. So if you like what you're seeing, I want you all to sana subscribe to the channel, hit that bell icon, at pare for more of your bold review. At sige, like nyo na rin yung video para sa support. Thank you all for the support. We are now at 7,200 subscribers sa YouTube. And it is my at most two, yeah, 7,237 total subscribers. And it is my humble thanks to all of you na in my 33 years of experience, I have been producing new reviews ng mga Viva Max movies. As you can see, I am trying to expand my boundaries once again. I am incorporating some of HSR uh, or Honkai Star Rail gameplay as I've streamed, which is the first part of my birthday special. This is like the second part. And today we are not just going to talk about Enid. If you, I'm just going to leave siguro a timestamp at the description since we got some nuclear leaks sa Honkai Star Rail that for once gusto ko pakita sa inyo. I just want to show all of you. And it is, kinumbay ko siya dito sa Viva Max review just because we just want to bypass Hoyoverse. And yeah, so let's see if this technique works. Tatago natin sa bold review yung ating pag-discuss ng leaks ng Honkai Star Rail. Okay, so Enid. So we got Jessa Garcia's character, si Luisa. I think her name's Luisa. And she stumbled upon a boarding house. So itong boarding house na to, they're composed of different college students. I forgot yung name ng isa kanila. So we got a civil engineering student, we got a varsity player, we got a architecture student, and we got the landlord, si Arman, si Rush Flores. Yung landlord natin, medyo mabait naman. Ah, hindi siya yung masungit na landlord. Parang ano pwede siyang i-put in his place something. Okay. So, unang datnan ni Luisa sa bahay sa boarding house na to is that she sees the character of Aika Veloso uh, having sex with a civil engineering student. And she suddenly touches herself, pleasures herself on that site. And ito yung isa unang mga images na na-stick sa kanyang utak. And she commenced to pleasure herself throughout the night. And then she meets her roommate, si Jen, played by Candy Veloso, who has a mole on her chin that is pretty beautiful. Maganda para sa akin. Sana huwag niya tanggalin yun. Okay, so Candy is, anong ano niya? Mass communication student. By the way, yung tinitira nung civil engineering student is also mass com, and Jessa Garcia's character, Luisa, is an education is taking an education degree. Okay, secondary education. And itong yung character ni Kelly, si Jen, medyo maharot, and she is also friendly. Pero makikita natin sino talagang tunay na maharot dito. So, naligo itong si Luisa. She took a shower and then she starts to imagine yung nakita niya eksena sa pagpasok niya ng boarding house, and she starts to pleasure herself again. And then Armand, curious siguro bakit may naririnig na umuungol sa shower, pumasok at nakita niya naliligo itong si Jessa. And then they start to have sex. Yeah, that's proceed. So this scene, ito naman yung tumatak kay Jason susunod yung nag-sex sila ni Arman. And then we got the plot na nililigawan siya nung architecture student. Pero wala eh. Then we go to what I say is the best sex scene in this movie, threesome, between Candy Veloso, Jessa Garcia, and yung nag-role play na pansexual varsity player. So, naglasing itong uminom ng beer sina Luisa sa itong varsity player sa boarding house, and then they proceed to have sex. And Luisa's roommate is actually yung yung sinabi ko, si Jen. So Jen and the varsity player have sex, and Luisa pinake niya yung tulog and then starts to voyeur on sa nangyayari kangkangan sa tabi niya. And she proceeds to pleasure herself to that. Nakita ito, napansin ito ni Jen and ng varsity player na pansexual, and then they proceed to have threesome. And isang magandang shot dito is Jessica Garcia actually licking the utong of Candy Veloso in slow motion. Such a good scene. Such a good scene. Every birthday bald na nakita ko has been that fire. Alam mo yung Fire Horse meme? Yeah. We got Scorpio Knights 3, we got Lichoneras, and then we got Init. Like 9, 28, 20, 30, as lahat yung Fire Horse memes. It's insane. Insane. Are we gonna review Deadpool 3? Dami nung nag-review. Okay, let's Deadpool 3 mamaya sa dulo. Yeah, and we get a backstory. Kataon. It turns out nga nililigawan ni Jet itong si Luisa, pero ayaw sagutin Luisa si Jet. And Luisa confesses to Jen that she has traumatizing sexual experience since in her younger days. At inuna siya nung, let's see, inuna sa kanya yung pinsan niya, pero di ko na maalala eh. Kaya siya di niya maalala. Una, pinsan daw niya, then ex ng pinsan niya, then yung ninong niya, and then di na daw niya maalala yung mga sumunod. And this shocks Luisa and actually reported the condition to a psychiatrist. Now, I know na need yung pasyente para nandun. You can't just report a mental condition without the patient and wala rin consent ng patient. But sure, let's roll with it. It's a 50-minute movie. I don't care. It's good. I mean, the sex is good. And yun, we got the case of the Nympho Mania. Secrets of a Nympho. Ladies and yeah, that's Secrets of a Nympho, everyone. Okay, so, and just like that, makikita natin na, let's see, let's take that, uh, makikita natin, ngayon, may Nympho Mania ito si Jessa, and we got a montage of every night nakikipagtalik siya, and then nakipagtalik siya sa civil engineering student. Nadatnan ito nung yung character ni Aiko Veloso, and she proceeds to break up with the civil engineering student at sinabunutan niya ito si Jessa, and Jessa is actually pregnant. Hindi niya alam sino yung tatay niya, tatay nung sanggol, kawawa naman kasi kung sino-sino na yung kumanyod sa kanya. Okay? Yung nagkangkang sa kanya. And yeah, she underwent psychiatric therapy, and that's the end of the movie. And she's pregnant. Whew! Yeah. Uh, tier list. Tier list tayo. Where are we going to give Enid? By the way, the movie's title is Init kasi mainit sa apartment eh. And I think, I'm just reading between the lines here. Ang rason, siguro kaya, ba't yag? Init to, di ba? Ang rason kasi siguro kaya init, yung, my God, we're using the old title. Sige, isin natin to. Alam ko kasi layag yung title nito, init na, di ba? And the reason siguro kaya siya na-turn on dahil sa init. Parang triggering factor. Okay. Okay, lagyan na natin. Init. Insane. Insane. So, Edith, very nice job. Very good. Umalis ka dyan, dirty ice cream. Ayoko sa'yo. Sini, legacy ni, ano. I'm going to give Edith a very, very high will bang. Okay? Yeah. So far, so good. Uh, very nice. Very nice. Actually, hindi na, no, actually, I enjoyed it more. Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. So there you go. Oh my God tier for Edith. Oh my. This is really I think I'm blazing it pero sige. It's my birthday naman so let's go. Okay. And we are at the 12-minute mark. Okay, screenshot ko lang yun. Para alam ko siya magsisimula. Okay. Uh that's a quick review. Deadpool Deadpool 3, Deadpool and Wolverine. It's insane. Okay, that's it. Okay, let's view some leaks. Leaks. Honkai Star Rail leaks. Let's see. Uh-huh. So this one is the facial light code. So open natin. Looks LFG, LFG, and there's a gunblade. Now I've said in the stream earlier, I wouldn't pull for facial if she's not using this weapon. Pero yeah, I'll probably pull for it because Gunblade, quality. And then we see, let's check the comments. Okay. Faisha Light Cone via Sakura Heaven. Hindi nyo kita. Yeah. Faisha Light Cone via Sakura Heaven. So, the title is I Venture Forth to Hunt. And then the light cone effect is increases the wearer's crit rate by 15% when any single ally uses an attack. So that's a follow-up attack. Kasi yun lang naman yung time. Eh. And if you got some very fast characters, the wearer gains one stack of lumen blocks to a max stack of six. Each stack of lumen blocks enables the ultimate damage by the wearer to ignore 9% or 13% of the target's defense. This effect will be dispelled after the wearer's user uses their ultimate. 15% crit rate and 54% ignore defense. Yeah, yeah, yeah. S1, max stacks, 9%, 54, ignore defense. This is a busted light code. I wasn't gonna pull for facial's light code, but holy, holy, holy shite. Yeah, just give it to me. I'll just pull. Di na talaga bubulot kay Yun Lee. May 8,000 jades ako, so here's the 8,000 more siguro for dispatch. Actually, I got 8,000. No, I got 2,000 jades kasi Was it 2,000? 5,000. 5,000 gigs yung tira sa akin. Wait, doing the math. I got 4,800 Jades left nung ka Jade. So technically, I got 4,000 Jades in her batch. So I guess that's my story. That was my event. It doesn't matter. Uh, let's try to aim 16,000. We'll try to win the 50-50 kay Pai Xiao muna and then try to pull for her light cone counter patch. I am skipping Lingsha anyway. But still depends. Wala pa yung ano eh, 6. Wala pa yung 2.6 sa leaks eh. Baka mayroon akong gusto doon. Diba? Okay. The canceled voice actor, Motsa. Motsa, this is a nice artwork. It's like Angel of Assassin's Creed. Okay, let's look. Let's look. Concealment. Wala siyang title eh. Shadowed by Night. Okay, that's the title. Concealment. Increases the wearer's break effect by 28%. Finally, Boot Hill! Yung mga by Boot Hill dyan, you finally have a 4-star light cone for Boot Hill. Pwede niya alisin yung swordplay nyo or yung, ano yun? Cruising the Stellar Seas because finally, Fire Show returns. And it's actually good. Upon entering battle or dealing break damage, you increase the speed by 8%. This is pretty good. This is a pretty good light cone for Boot Hill. Hunt Break Effect LC. Hunt Break Effect. Wake me up when you know this is gotcha. It's his gotcha. Yeah. You need to pull for I guess this will be part of the light cone. Ito. So you'll get two good light cones if you went all in. Okay, five shell kit. 5-star the hunt. HP 1047, attack 601, defense 388, speed 125, taunt 75. Taunt value. Essential materials, credits. Yan. Okay, let's go to Eidolon. S1, Skyward Quell. Yan using ultimate for each point of flying Aureus consumed. The final hit additionally deals wind damage equal to 30% of Paishao's attack to a random enemy. So it just makes her ultimate splash damage, I assume. It's just hunt, so it's single target. It is a single target, so it just makes it splash. Okay. Splash pero hindi yung blast na splash na yung magkatabi. It says here, random enemy. Moonward, I wish. You wish. Intelligence effect, the attack count required to gain flying Orgus reduces by 1 count. Stormward, I hear. Basic attack and skill damage deals damage to the enemy target. It will be considered as a follow-up attack. So this is the Topaz Trace, where your basic attack and skill is considered a follow-up attack. Just to increase her stacks faster. And just to enable her on a non-follow-up team. And Homeward Pioneer increases follow-up attacks wind rest penetration by 30%, increases the damage multiplier, the dallas follow-up attack by 360%, and the damage that is considered as ultimate damage. So by her Eidolons, she is a follow-up attacker. Okay. Next, Traces. Heaven Path. Receive 4 points of flying warriors at the start of the battle. If there are no teammates active in the battlefield, receive 1 point instead. For your ship, when dealing damage to enemy targets via launching the unit's ultimate, it will be considered as launching a follow-up attack. So, dito naman yung ultimate, yung follow-up attack. Bolt catch, it's like the elation, yung elation buff sa CMU. Bolt catch, follow-up attack, crit damage increases by 60%. This actually enables erudition with an erudition build sa simulated universe without needing the elation buff. Okay, skills. Basic na Bolt Thunder deals wind damage equal to 50% of Parishaw's attack to a single target enemy. War Axe Deals with damage equal to 120%, 300% of Facial's attack to a single enemy. Advance forwards Facial's next action by 12.55%. Wow! 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 She has advanced forward on her skill. Wow! What are the devs cooking? Ano yung luto nyo? Okay, next one. Ultimate. Terra Split. You see here, cost 6 flying Oreos, 12 max. Okay, so it means to use her ultimate, you need 6 flying Oreos points, 12 max. I believe you can store it up to 12, so she could potentially use her ultimate twice. Deals with damage equal to 5 to 504%, then it doubles 1008% and to 2016% of partials attack to a single enemy. There it is. It's only for a single target, but the damage multiplier is very high, reducing its toughness regardless of weakness types. If the target is not weakness broken, partial's weakness break efficiency increases by 100% during the attack. Partial launches both Thunder Blitz or War Axe Skyward multiple times. So she has the chance first launches both Thunder multiple times until flying Orius is depleted. So it's RNG? Yan ba yun? Okay, she does Terra Split. After that, she launches the final hit. For I imagine that if you cast her ultimate, she will do one of her follow-up attacks. It's either Board Thunder Priest or War Axe Skyward multiple times. So if you have 12, hmm. It's I got it. 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 So if you have 12 Arius points, you can activate the ult, and then you can press the ultimate button multiple times. So it's animations differ. It's either Bolt Thunder Blitz or War Skyward. Then on the final hit, it's Terra Split, and I believe it's this one. For every point consumed, this win damage equal to 6%. 7% partial attack to the target. If the target is a weakness broken, the damage multiplier increases by 9%, 18%. From hit number 6 onward, if the target is 0, reserves the remaining flying or use and launches the final hit immediately. Okay, that's better. At least the stacks aren't wasted, unlike Acheron. Yeah, okay. So these are her follow-up attacks. Both Thunder Blitz and War Axe Skyward. Deals wind damage equal to 45%, 80% of partial attack to a single target enemy. If the target is weakness broken, the damage multiplier increases by 24%, 48%. And this one, War Axe Skyward, if the target is not weakness broken. So it's just two different animations, same multiplier. The only difference is both Thunder Blitz if it's weakness broken, and War Axe Skyward is not weakness broken. So this is not RNG. Correct? I stand corrected. This is not RNG. So, or the or here is either this one or this one, depending on if the unit is broken or not. Got it. Okay. Next, Thunder Hunt, the talent. This ultimate can be achieved when flying Orius reaches 6 points up to 12 points. Fei Xiao gains 1 point of flying Orius for every 2 attacks by allies. Hmm. So she doesn't really get one stack at 1 is to 1 stack. It's 2 is to 1. You need two attacks for 1 stack. Okay. Attacks from Patio's ultimate are not counted. So this one, they're not counted. So, yung isa niyang trace, we're using this ultimate. It's not, I think it's only for the final hit. Not from this or this. Yeah. Understandable. So she can skill multiple times. Man, that's why this unit is pretty much complicated. I can tell you that. After the other team issues attack, Paisha launches follow-up attack against the primary target, deals with damage equal to 250% of Paisha's attack. If no primary targets are able to attack, yeah, Paisha attack a single random enemy instead. Mm. This event will trigger one time per turn, and the trigger count is reset to start videos. Man. After using the technique, this character enters the onrush state. Uh, oh wait, facial gives one per flying Aureus. She attacks every turn? That's ratios. Yun yung technical ratio, di ba? Pag ano, may talent ratio yun, di ba? So, he has two stacks. He will attack on any follow-up attack. Oh my. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. After using the technique, this character enters the on state. Lasting 20 seconds when the on state, the character pulls in any within range. Use speed by 25%. This is 1 point of flying hour use. So you can enter with 5 stacks already. Active attacks in the ownership will strike all pulled enemies and enter combat. After entering battle, deal with damage equal to 200%. This damage is guaranteed to crit. Guaranteed to crit. In. Yeah, I need her light code. She's busted. She's busted. She's busted. Yeah, I think she needs attack boots in business speed. If her speed is already 125, I'll just put her attack boots with some speed substats. Given she has some speed increase, right? You know, she already has 5 traits. She will be 130. She's 130 speed at base only. Ah, yeah. Ito yung character. Well, good thing I skipped Firefly. Okay. Snipa alone stays true. This is the Linkshell icon. Containment increases where break effect by 60%, 100% with a where attacks an enemy with an ultimate. Doesn't the will free state. Will free state. You don't actually need this icon. She's a replacement Gallagher. So, kung ako sa inyo, I'll, I'll farm for what is real. Yeah, as a good alternative. There are a bunch of good abundance icon. Bailu icon is pretty good. Multiplication is going to be good on her. Ayun. Okay, next. This is partial in-game pick. Okay, Ling Sha, 1358, 679, 436, 98. You see? You see, guys, that's 17 less. 17 ba? No, that's 27 less than the hunt unit. Insane. I got a feeling Vayner's gonna get nerfed. Let's see in the coming few weeks if she's gonna get Zhao queued. Otherwise, yeah, it's gonna be GG. I'm looking at my game right now. I currently have speed boots on my partial. The gear that is being given that uh that I gave to what you call it to Misha. I got a break effect, attack, and speed boots. Let's see. Let me roll this. It's attack. Uh, there's no crit stats, so that's a bummer. Let's see. If I got this one, if this rolls speed, HP is a bummer. Break effect, speed. No. I guess I'll cope with the one with the flat attack. Oh, it's a perfect dodge. So- Okay, I'll go with this one and switch. This character is insane. Insane. How many stats did I get? I got 13 speed stats just by increasing. If we go 161, yeah, that's just gonna be. I have speed stats on my rope, and it's an attack rope with hit damage. Then crit damage body. Yeah, I'm just gonna go crit damage on Faisal. Okay, sorry. Bloom on Bileward Bouquet. Nature's weakness break efficiency by 50%. When an enemy's weakness is broken, reduce their defense by 30%. Leisure in Carmine Smokeville. All values break effect increases by 40%. Resonance from Canopied Banquet. During Fuyu 1, who's Fuyu 1? The rabbit? Okay. Push 1 and Jing 1 got married. Okay, traces. Vermilion Map increases the unit's attack outgoing healing by amount equal to 30%, 8% of their break effect. Thing is, break effect is already a good stat to roll in. Kasi ang mahirap na i-roll the stat is like crit damage, speed. You can guarantee almost every time you can get a break effect. So it's easy. You can just ignore the light cone and get multiplication and equip her with a break effect set, and you're all set. Silver Smoke, when using basic attack, additionally regenerates 10 energy, Ember's Echo. When any ally takes damage or consumes HP, if their HP percentage is less than or equal to 60%, Fuyuan will immediately trigger the follow-up attack. This she has a follow-up, huh? Skill deals fire damage equal to 40%, 100%. Lincia's attack to all enemies. Restores HP equal to 10%, 60% Lincia's. Okay. Inflicts Repug. This is a debuff. Repug take break damage. Anyway, this fire damage. She is a Firefly support. Yun yun eh, wala akong Firefly eh. Summons Fuyuan when using skill. Fuyuan has an initial speed of 80 and an initial action of 3, so it's independent. She won't have the Jing-Yuan problem. During Fuyuan's action, launch follow-up attack all enemies to fire damage equal to 45%, 112%. Ninja's attack dispels 1 debuff from all allies and restores HP equal to 8. Whoa, 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 whoa. Huh? Fuyuan can accumulate a maximum of action counts. When the action count reaches 0, or Fuyuan disappears. If you play Decision Final Fantasy Opera Omnia, this is technically Alpino. Okay? This is Alpino. This is Alpino. Technique. Reason or after using the technique, immediately summons Fuyuan at the start of the next battle and fixes the fog, and the enemy's lasting for a month. Insane. Yeah. Summary. Lingsha does everything. Minus heal. I have like that oil have that this whole cheat to get you just defense straight on early idolants. And Robin's evil leading turns her all into the one maze of marketing 101. Yeah. As what does she mean no, minus heal all allies? She heals all allies, right? She's Lee Gallagher plus Locha minus buff Diesel. Maybe better. I like to continue use. Yeah, I will use it. Most of the setups are not dispellable. Yeah. Yeah. She's an E1 bait. Lingsha E1. What's an E1? You know. Yeah. But then again, why would you want defense? Then again, when enemies' weakness is broken, reduces their defense by 20%. So it's not a condition that it has to be Lingsha to break it. It's just when an enemy is weakness is broken, their defense is reduced. She just needs to be on the field. She's not a must. And she's an E1 bait, okay? I could say that go for it if you don't have Gallagher, but Gallagher would still fare pretty well, okay? And she is less SP positive than Gallagher, since she needs to summon Fuyuan on the field every 3 turns. But if you do pull her, she's a good investment. Yeah, Wednesday's the resting patch. Yeah, new ornament sets. We got the banana. The wondrous banana amusement park. Increases the wearer's crit damage by 18%, by 16%. When a target summoned by the wearer is on the field, crit damage additionally increases by 30%. I don't know who can use this. Jing Yuan? Topaz? Why would I put this on Lingsha? Does she need, isn't break it like she needs? Just for who you want to deal more damage? I don't know. Lushaka, the Sunken Seas. Increases the wearer's effect rest by 10%. If the wearer is not the first character in the lineup, then the attack of the first character in the lineup is 16%. So slots 2, 3, 4 use Lushaka. They'll have their effect rest by 10%. And the first character in the team lineup will have like 48% attack increase. This is way better than Broken Kill. This is way better than Broken Kill. I'm not capping. This is way better than Broken Kill. Put it on a hyper carry team. Put it on Bronya. Adventure, lagay mo kay Adventuring versus Stay and the Epicris. Or even Lingsha. Yeah? And then put in another harmony that could use this. It's gonna be this one's good. I'm not lying, this one's good. 48% attack up is not to be underestimated. Put this on Robin. Ooh, final use of placement. Yeah. It's a hyper carry. It's a hyper carry. It's for hyper carries. Hoyan is this is NPCS. Yeah. We got some artwork. Okay, final kit for today, Motse. I believe we will have footage by tomorrow. So let's just wait and see. The beta will be tomorrow. And maybe if we can get details from 2.6. Pero I'm not gonna cover it. I'm just covering it kasi we got the Viva Max review uh, from there. So 12 minutes. Diba? So 12 minutes mark. Motsa, 4-star The Hunt Lightning. 811 HP, 546 attack, 352 defense, 114 speed, taunt 75. Eidolon, Oathkeeper. The way this character deals damage with his ultimate, it's considered as having launched a follow-up attack. That's nice. Increases follow-up attack damage by taken by the enemy mark as prey by 25%. That is that's Topaz. That's Topaz, right? Teka lang. Humanity. You got 33, so you technically get 57. I'll just save. Okay, I'll just save. I need 5 pulls for a new 5-star, and I currently have 5 pulls. Yeah, I'll just save. I'll just hang it up. Then get the 10 full. Whatever. Life cone is copium. I really need to go hard PT. Shame. Okay, let's go back to Matza. Rat Bearer. Anyway, I assume we will have a 4-star selector, so I'm just going to give it to Motza, to be honest. Rat Bearer. After entering battle, Motza regenerates 20 points of energy. For every time the additional damage from its talent is triggered, Motza regenerates 3 points of energy. Health Prowler. He is the Prowler. The crit damage boost effect of the Vengeance Voice additionally increases by 20%. Fate Binder. After using the ultimate to attack an enemy target, Motsa immediately launches the follow-up attack from the turret against his target. So he follows up attack after using the ultimate. If the target is defeated before this follow-up, it then okay. So it has the Himiko buff. Nice. Traces. Night Feather recover 1 skill point after using a follow-up attack. What the H? Dagger Hold. Monster's action is advanced forward by 30%. Pretty nice. I can see him getting paired with Kai Shao. Okay? But I got other plans. When he's departed, if he's a follow-up 4-star. Vengeance Wise will attack allies and enemy marked as prey, increases the crit damage by 30%. Mm. Damn. Okay, skills. Hurlton. This dieting damage equals to 50%, 130% of most attack of a single enemy. Skill. Fleet Wing Raid Mark. Raid. Marks a designated target, single target as the prey. Increases lightning damage equal to any to 180%, 87% of monsters attacked with it. When there are no counters, monster can use this skill and depels the enemy's spray state. Okay, so if your characters are dead, you can't use the skill. Got it. It's a follow-up thing. So he did. He's a he's a 4-star DPS. You need E6 on him. Good luck. Ultimate Die Ninja Shout. Nothing much. Increases the fate damage. Increases the damage dealt by this character by 30%, 60%, lasting for 2 turns. It deals lightning damage equal to 430% of monster's attack to a single target enemy. Talent, while entered in the departed state while a prey exists on the field. After allies attack the prey, Motsa will additionally deal 1 instance of additional lightning damage. When Motsa's charge reaches 7 points, consume only one follow-up attack to the prey. So this is like a thing yun, okay? Or Robin, and he gains 1 charge. If you have full charge, he will deal a follow-up attack. And he dispels the target's prey state. So it's not permanent, unlike Kaitopas, but he can reapply it using the skill. Baited Wings, after using his technique, Motsa gains stealth for 20 seconds. So his stealth is active. Motsa cannot be detected by enemies. It's a Sila. It's a Sila thing. What I can see here is it's possible you can run a second follow-up team. I'm not copying. I'm not. I'm serious. You can run second follow-up team. Okay. So what does the follow-up team look like? The second follow-up team look like? So the natural follow-up team is composed of Topaz, Rat, Ratio, Venturin, and Robin. Then we got the bench, Jade. Then we got some others. I just label others: Jade, Jingyuan, uh, Shui, and then you got the new ones like Motsa. March doesn't follow attack, although it's inconsistent. Fai Shao, Ling Xia. So a premium follow up, premium double follow up. Can have Topaz, Fai Shao, Aventurine, Robin. This is a good mix. You don't have to worry about uh you don't have to worry about imaginary resist since a veteran is mostly going to be the tank and Faisha will be doing the damage and you don't have to worry about the debuffs anymore. And you can slot in Ratio, Motsa, Ruan Mei, As your second follow-up name, any support. Problem is this is SP negative, but you have a it's SP negative. You cast one main for every 3 turns. You cast Moza until the prey is dead, and ratio is has to go 2 turns. So you need an SP positive support. I suggest Gallagher would be a good one. Locha, if you have him. I'm not going for Woho, Wee Wee, or whatever you call her, because ah, it's not ideal. Okay, it's unreal. You'll just do a lot of SP. So it's ratio Moza and Ronnie. Let's see. Moza basic attack. Yeah, you can just basic attack for Moza until the prey is dead. That's the play there. Or you can just any sustain support. Push one? Mm, I'm not sure about push one because she is kind of SP negative. You have going to have a 1 turn where everyone is just end up using all of their SP. So I wouldn't bank on it. Pai Xiao is an Acheron. He is a single target Acheron. Ang tingin ko is, yeah, she needs her E2 to enable her in other team comps. But yung sa experience ko kay Acheron, and I will have a complete team this time. Unlike I like Acheron where I don't have even have a Kafka for a dual comp DPS on her. This time I do have follow-up attackers. I think I can run this. I think this two mocks, the next mock, if it's follow-up centric or the mock for dispatch, I'm just going to run two follow-up teams, you know? Or if you want premium and you want more SP positivity, Motso or Jade. I have an E1 Jade, so that's it. But you risk of not having any debuffs. So yeah, Jade, pure fiction. Jade is always either going to be here or is always going to be here. It's either I will replace Topaz with a Jade, that and that will still work. We need, yeah, premium option for sustain Lingsha, but not recommended. Lingsha is a Firefly support, not Fuwa. It's like Lingsha, 90% Firefly, 10% Puwa. So I'm not. You're just going to stick her just for the follow-up attack, and I'm not recommending that. You either just go Gallagher or go Locha. Uh, then just use whatever is real. Mozza, he's like that has his figure. It's not good for him. He's not a break effect guy. You know what's good for him? You know what's good for Mozza? Uh, Final Victor, which is the icon that I'm gonna give him. Final Victor. Yeah, yeah. 2.5. 2.5 is gonna be some. It's gonna be a hell of a match, everyone. and I'm going to be in it for the ride. Alright, we're going to be rich with 1 hour. Thank you for watching. This is our boy, that gamer Harriet, saying it. Goodbye and good night. Bye.